Dante Muse contacted me some months back about a short film idea he had that used a prop beer brand called Too Much. I thought the concept was funny and I liked the challenge of creating a new label to go over existing packaging. I used a combination of Google Gemini and Photoshop for the first part of the process, which was creating the labels themselves. AI is helpful, but definitely not perfect, so I found myself tweaking the designs by hand quite a bit. After printing the labels, I only needed a few tools: an X-Acto knife, a good pair of scissors, my sticker maker, and a straight edge, which in this case is a corkback ruler. So the images are attached to a large piece of cardboard because I use a laser printer instead of an inkjet. Laser printers use dry powdered toner rather than liquid ink, which means that if a printed piece is going to be heavily handled by an actor, like beer bottles, the toner can eventually rub off or fade. To prevent that, I always seal the printed images with a few coats of matte clear spray and let them cure for 48 hours. I wanted to ensure that the new label matched the original as closely as possible. It just helps minimize any future issues with color matching when you overlay the new label over the original. O'Doul's non-alcoholic beer was provided by Dante, and I think it's the perfect choice for a prop like this. It ensures that the actors aren't consuming anything with a significant alcohol content if we see them drinking directly from the bottle on camera. And it's also a brand that doesn't feel instantly recognizable, though that might just be me since I've never bought non-alcoholic beer. Here you can see that I'm lining up the new labels to make sure that they're the correct size to fully cover the original labels. You'll notice I also have 6 bottles, but I've printed 7 labels. That's so I have a backup in case I make a mistake while cutting one out, which saves me the extra work of reprinting and then resealing another label afterwards. I'm gesturing to the 7th label here because my cuts were the messiest on this one, though it'll still work out perfectly fine. Now I get to use my sticker maker. This device applies an adhesive backing to the label. You can get different levels of adhesive ranging from temporary to permanent, but this one uses permanent adhesive, so I know I only get one shot at applying the label to the bottle. Once it sticks, there's no adjusting or removing it without damaging the original label underneath. There's ways to work around this, but I would just rather avoid that completely. I'm wiping down the bottle because it picked up a little bit of dust while it sat in my house for a few months. It's important to do this before applying the new label because I want to make sure there's no debris that could cause bubbling underneath the new label. I take my time making sure the new label is properly aligned over the original. The key technique here is to press the label down along its center first, then smooth the rest of the label outward from the center. That method helps minimize any air bubbles getting trapped beneath the sticker and ensures a smooth look. I'm happy with how the first label came out, so I moved forward with running the rest of the labels through the sticker maker in a batch. I unfortunately fed 2 labels too close to each other, so they came out overlapping. This just means that one of the labels doesn't have a fully adhesive back. There are several ways to fix this, but since I have my 7th label as backup, we're just going to use that one instead. I proceed by applying all the labels to the bottles. Here I'm demonstrating how the edge of this label didn't get the adhesive backing fully, so I grab the 7th label, clean up the edges a little bit, and then I run it through the sticker maker. Now I've completed adding all the new labels to the 6 bottles, and it's time to move on to cutting out the graphics that will go on the box. When cutting graphics like this, where precision matters, I highly recommend using an X-Acto knife with a straight edge instead of trying to freehand with scissors or use a guillotine paper cutter. You'll get a much cleaner edge with an X-Acto knife, along with a much lower chance of making mistakes during your cuts. You can see that I printed 3 of the side box graphics even though I only needed 2, and again, that's just a backup measure in case any mistakes were made during cutting. For the smaller sides of the box, the size is a bit more oblong, so I made sure to scan the physical box into my computer using my scanner to make sure I was getting the exact dimensions for the final graphic. These required extra care when cutting due to their shape, but I think they turned out perfect. Now that the labels for the box are completed, I can move on to attaching them to the box itself. Due to the size of the graphics for the box, I'm not able to run them through the sticker maker, so I'll be using spray adhesive instead. I'm using Super 77. This is a great product for permanent adhesion. You always want to make sure you spray it far away from your final work area. My favorite part about this product is that you get a good amount of workability before finalizing where you want to adhere it, since the glue doesn't instantly dry. You can see that when I go to apply the graphic, it accidentally sticks in a place where it shouldn't, and I'm able to pull it up with ease to realign it. Now I use a clean piece of paper over the graphic as I smooth it down. This helps prevent any excess adhesive from getting onto my smoothing tool, which could transfer back onto the graphic and ruin the clean finish. I'm happy with how the first side turned out, so I proceed to spray and attach all 3 other sides. Now, because the box is collapsible, when I attach the smaller sides, I make sure to cut a small line down the center of the graphic that aligns with the crease for the fold in the box. This maintains the realism of the packaging and ensures the box will still collapse with ease. Now the box is complete and we're ready to film Too Much Beer.